Welcome everyone. Today we're going to start this update with a 5-minute roast of Mark Zuckerberg for not buying Bitcoin with Facebook. It's such a shame that they didn't do it. That's why the market crashed last night. And now we have to move on. Crying. That's why the weather outside is absolutely disgusting in the Netherlands. But yeah, Facebook didn't buy. And now the price did not act in a bullish manner, as we made a move of 1.5k in 2 minutes and then we dropped with 1.5k in 3 minutes as well. How much does it matter that Facebook buys or doesn't buy Bitcoin? Literally nothing, but all of a sudden everybody starts to focus on, or the market starts to focus on those big institutions that will buy Bitcoin, and a rumor came out that Facebook was one of the few that will be adding Bitcoin. You should realize that we only have a few companies that just added Bitcoin. It's Tesla, MicroStrategy, all those companies just did it. There's still pension funds, VCs, hedge funds, and the whole Wall Street place that will still be adding Bitcoin, as it's inevitable. So whether or not Facebook is adding Bitcoin right now or not, it doesn't really matter, because in the end they still will do it. So short-term momentum, we had some movements in which I also tweeted that Bitcoin hit 56k, and then 1 minute later I had to tweet that Bitcoin was back to 55k, which is fine. But still, should we focus too much on those news-related events or rumors? No, we should not. I mean, if they are buying Bitcoin, fine. If they are not buying Bitcoin, also fine. And probably in the coming weeks or months, you will just see that multiple companies, multinationals will be jumping on a bandwagon. Whether or not it's Bitcoin, could also be just other cryptocurrencies. But yeah, Facebook didn't add Bitcoin. Let's discuss the charts. But before that, do not forget to subscribe beneath and also like this video or dislike, whatever you want. And comment if you want to see some special content regarding the YouTube channel. Next week, I've got this pop filter. Next week, we're going to do the live streams again. And also, we're going to make a schedule in which we're going to implement new content. So, new topics on interviews, fundamental reviews on projects, educational videos. They will all be added to the YouTube channel as we are slowly starting to progress. Another question that I'm getting a lot, Turkish subtitles. They are coming as well. We want to integrate it into our company as well. Which takes some time to structure that all, but if we have that fixed out, we probably are also implementing different languages not too far after that. So just stay tuned, it's going very fast, you have to be a little bit patient, but we're getting there. So let's discuss the charts. Very long intro, but Bitcoin at this stage. We have discussed Bitcoin previously. We have been stating that there was that critical level right on a weekly time frame, which is the 21-week MA. But also the recent low that we have on a weekly. The recent low that we have on a weekly is this one. So that's the area around 45k. As long as Bitcoin doesn't drop below, everything is fine. And we also have the 21-week MA coming into play, which might be jumping into this range in the coming few weeks. So what do we have right now? We do have this big bounce up, in which this bounce up triggered probably almost everyone to FOMO buy into resistance. But given that we have got this clear level or order block that we have here, that's the resistance zone that probably we can't break through in one go. I've stated yesterday that once we're going to break through that resistance zone, I'm going to assume that we're going to test the highs. But preferably, you want to see the market just consolidating. You want to see some period of relaxed momentum on Bitcoin, which can be beneficial for altcoins. But in general, to become an organic and healthy market, you want to have those waves in which it just comes down to earth for a little while and just starts consolidating. So right now we do have that, as Bitcoin tried to break through the resistance zone last night, right? We tried to make that breaker, but because of Mark Zuckerberg, we couldn't break through the resistance zone and reject it. However, if I am able to get a new chart up, you can see that after that rejection, we failed to make this breaker, and given that we failed to make this breaker, we're currently acting on a critical support zone. So on the lower time frames, this is the area that we should be watching. If that is lost, and I think we should be also watching the resistance zone that we have at the range high here, which is about 55.2. If we reject here again, we get the exact same. It might be dropping down. So as you know, the more often the support gets tested, the weaker it becomes. The likelihood of it dropping down below that level is significantly increasing. So this is pretty much the critical level that we have to watch. If that is lost, then we are going to assume that we're going to drop back towards the level that I just designed on a daily time frame. So then I'll just be flipping back to the daily time frame. That's this block. So what I just said is this level around 53.8. If that is lost, we might be having a very painful drop towards 49.3 to 50k. That is again granting you opportunities to get into the markets. But more importantly, this entire scenario is starting to play out. Plus, it's very healthy for the markets. If Bitcoin, however, breaks through this resistance zone between 55 to 57, I think we're going to start running towards new all-time highs. So at this stage, that's the critical area that we're looking at. And in between, we just see altcoins doing really well. And as you know, I've discussed the 100-day and 200-day MAs that are very important to watch. And one of those altcoins that just came out with some news as well is Swiperino. Because George Solito gave information about the founders tokens, yes. They burned the founder tokens, which is about like 200 mil. Even CZ tweeted about it. More importantly, the 100-day and 200-day MA are flipping bullish on Swipe. And next to that, the critical support zone holds for support. Plus, we flipped the 100-day and 200-day MA for support in general, which means a new bull cycle has started. So this one bounced up. We are currently facing this resistance zone, but more importantly, we make higher lows, higher highs. So in that perspective, we are most likely just going to continue making those movements here and start becoming parabolic again. So once it starts to run up, you probably see the hype coming up again. You probably see people chasing into this trade while nobody had any interest into this altcoin when it was just accumulating. Similarly with many of those other altcoins at this stage. But once it starts to run, people were enthusiastic, won't become enthusiastic, and they want to jump in. So right now, Swipe looks attractive, and more of those altcoins look attractive at this stage. My coffee machine just goes out. So at this stage, I think Swipe is going to continue. And still the topic is right now, Swipe is approaching the all-time high in the USD value. How are you going to analyze the price action of Swipe? Because the USD value is in price discovery. You're going to use this chart and you're going to use the Bitcoin pair, as that is deriving you information on how Swipe is valued against Bitcoin. And there are more of those coins that are currently just facing the 100-day and 200-day MA. Some of them look better, some of them look worse. TOMO chain looks worse given the fact that we drop back below. So once it starts to break those two upwards again, which is probably going to happen in the next few days as it's compressing, if it breaks up again, it flips the 100-day and 200-day MA for support, likely continuation going to happen here. Another one that's just literally waking up is OneChain. If you zoom out, you can see that it's just barely starting a new bull cycle. Given the fact that the critical level of support holds here, we can assume that the 100-day and 200-day MA are also being or continuously being support here, given the fact that the sentiment and the market structure is just improving heavily, through which I'm going to assume that OneChain is going to break out of this 2-year accumulation phase and starts a new bull cycle. And given the fact that I'm assuming that it will, there are large gaps in between the resistance levels through which big runs can happen. But if you want to make profits on those big runs, you should still be accumulating your positions right now based on the Bitcoin pairs. Tomorrow, new fresh update of the markets. This weekend, I'll be making my top 3 or top 5 altcoins for May. So do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and always keep smiling. See you again tomorrow.